Yeah. So, Ruben, you and I, we go way back, right? When we were colleagues, like maybe over a decade ago,
Yeah.
as housemen in hospitals, Seremban. We both had a common colleagues. Common colleagues as well. I remember one of them even got me into trouble. We're not going to go into that today. But what was your experience like working in the public healthcare sector as a houseman, as a medical officer?
Okay. So already mentioned that I did my housemanship in Seremban, but I'll not mention any names. Huh? So I'm going to be very honest. It was completely not what I had expected it to be. So I think you shared the same thing as well, Selena. Becoming a doctor, we always thought we were, high and mighty. Oh, doctor, you're on top of the food chain kind of thing. But I think housemanship was a huge eye opener for me. It started off from the first posting. Once again, I'll not mention which posting, but during that posting, I think my ego just broke. I felt like, what am I doing here? This is not the place I want to be. So I wanted to become something in my mind, like, I wanted to do a surgery, hold the heart in my hand. That was what I expected. But when I started doing housemanship, oh, wow. And it's not so much about the bullying, but it's just the pressure. So I had to, I admit, I was not the best of houseman. I had my weaknesses, a lot of weaknesses, but I wanted to learn. But being put in a situation where, you are forced to stay back very late and come very early in the morning. And that time we had on-call, Selena. So it was not a shift system, right? Working for 36 hours. I mean, that breaks you. I used to sleep in the car and think whether I wanted to go back into the hospital. So it was a very, very, I think, beyond all expectations. It just broke me. But at the same time, so I have this character where I always try to find the positive. It was difficult, but I believe that it was a test. So basically going through the pressure, going through the scolding, making you feel like I was called the worst houseman, literally in front of the entire batch. And this was during my first posting. Mind you, I had no idea what I was doing. So it made me a stronger person, but along that way, Selena, so I had a lot of friends who could not go through. So I saw them breaking under the pressure and it was, torturous. It just made them someone else. So yeah, this is housemanship in a nutshell for me. But it made me who I am today. So I have no regrets. But if you ask me whether I would go through the same thing again, I would I would have my reservations. But yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did go through a lot of this, except that I did not know you were going through it as well. I think a lot of us did not realize that all of us were actually going through the same thing, being called the worst houseman. I'm sure every single houseman has been called the worst houseman.
Oh, so you,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I was mostly, we mostly stay under the radar. But Ruben, you were actually one of the more reliable colleagues I had during housemanship. Someone I knew I could depend on. If I had to pass over to you, I knew you'd help me get it through. So yeah, this is a surprise hearing that you also had a difficult journey throughout housemanship.
Yeah. I mean, I think what was lacking back then, Selena, was the fact that we never really shared these problems with each other. I mean, we were friends and we used to go out and lunch together, but we never shared what we were going through. So maybe because there was not enough exposure, or we never had platforms like what you have created to actually speak about it. Everyone was keeping it inside, and maybe they're all okay. I'm the only bad one. But that's how it made us feel, Selena. We felt like we were the problem. But after looking into it, there's actually a problem with the system itself. It's not an individual thing. There's a larger picture to it. But I mean, thank you for what you said earlier. I'm glad that at least I wasn't a bully or something. But same vice versa, Selena. You were actually one of the few housemates that I was actually very close to, and it was good because that kept us going. I felt at least we had a small group as a fun group.
Join Disruptive Doctors.